All right, good morning, and welcome to Prince George's County Public Schools December Professional Development Day for 2020. This session, brought to you by the Technology Training Team, is entitled Using Video with EdPuzzle to Engage Learners. And thank you very much for joining us. We have over 550 participants with us already. So let's get started. For those of you that are not familiar with WebEx events, just going to quickly point out some things on the panel today. Uh, your audio connections are located on the left-hand side. We will not be using the chat feature today, but we will be using the question and answer feature. So you will put your questions in the Q&A, and that way we can immediately give you responses directly to that question, and you don't have to scroll to look back and find answers to particular questions. All right. And that's mainly because of the large number of people involved in our session today. So before you type your question, preview the Q&A window to see if your question has not already been asked and answered. Okay, and we'll do our best to keep up with as many of the questions as possible before the session ends. Attendance for today was being captured by your WebEx login. So be sure that you are logged in using your PGCPS email address. If you are not, leave the session and sign back in. All right, we ask if you can just take notes and follow along with us. And thank you for our patience as we work through this quick session this morning. This session is being recorded, so if you feel that you missed certain parts of it and need to go over them, they will be available to you after the session on a website for all of the professional developments that are being held today. Again, our title of this session is Using Videos with EdPuzzle to Engage, Inspire, and Advance Learners. Our objectives for our session today: we're going to be using EdPuzzle with Google Classroom. We're going to examine instructional videos that are in EdPuzzle. We're going to determine and learn how to use an upload a video from YouTube or Screencastify. We're going to edit and add questions or notes to an EdPuzzle video that you are using. We're going to take a look at how to share videos, the options available there, and look at analytics that will give you your students' responses and reports that you can use to track the engagement of your students. And then we will provide you with some EdPuzzle resources that will support your use of EdPuzzle in this online learning environment. We're also going to have polling questions today. These polling questions will be provided through WebEx. They will come up and we will ask that you respond to our polling questions so that we can make sure that we're staying on task and giving you the best information that we can about EdPuzzle. Our team presenting today from the Technology Training Team and from Title I are myself, Renee Henderson, Michelle Conti, Ashana Wang Wing, Patrick Pierre-Louis, all on T3, and Tamala Stuckey from ESSA Title I. So, what is EdPuzzle? EdPuzzle is a web-based tool that allows you to take any video and embed in that video your own assessment questions, and at the same time, track your students' progress. You're going to find that it's a very powerful tool. You can take your videos and transform them into a very robust learning experience for your students. And at the same time, hold your students accountable for viewing videos that in the past you may have just assigned by saying, watch this video and answer these questions. It integrates seamlessly with Google Classroom, YouTube, Screencastify, and many other video platforms. Okay. Are we going to do that polling question? The first polling question?
No, we want to keep moving.
All right. So we're going to take a look at what this will look like for a student. And I'm going to ask Michelle to share with us how she's going to use this with her students. Michelle?
Thank you, Renee. So we're going to leave the presentation and actually go into Google Classroom to see what EdPuzzle looks like within the Google Classroom platform and from the student side. All right, so this is our Google Classroom. I am signed in right now as a student, and I see that my teacher has assigned an EdPuzzle for me to complete. So I'm going to click on this link within Google Classroom, and I'm going to expand it so I can see the entire assignment. When we're using EdPuzzle within Google Classroom, we need to make sure we instruct our students to watch the video, complete the activity or questions, and when they're done, to make sure they turn it in or mark as done so that their scores will show up within Google Classroom. For this example, I'm just going to go ahead and click on our EdPuzzle link. And it takes me directly to the lesson video my teacher has assigned. The good thing about this is, as the teacher, you can turn on a setting that will prevent your students from being able to skip through the video to go directly to the questions. For this example, we turned skipping off because we want to be able to go to the questions much quickly. I'm just going to start the video. Hi guys, in today's lesson, this is a video that was brought in from Screencastify. So we want to show you that you can take your own Screencastify created videos and add them to EdPuzzle and add questions to it so that your students would be able to watch a video that you created hearing your voice and then answer whatever questions you add to that video. I'm going to skip and let it play and go directly into our thesis statement. So the first teardrop question is now here. As a student, I am prompted to answer whatever was covered at the start of this video. I can choose my selection, and then I can click the submit button. If I didn't know the answer, I could rewatch the video to make sure whatever this question is asking me, when I rewatch it, oh, I got the answer this time. When we turn on prevent skipping, our students will not be able to skip within the video. I don't want to skip my question, so I'm going to go ahead and click submit. Your students automatically get feedback when they are completing multiple choice questions. When you are setting up your questions, you can, when you're doing the multiple choice questions, you automatically choose what the answer is going to be so that your students see the feedback immediately. I'm going to click continue, which will ultimately explain the Again, I'm just going to quickly speed through because I don't want to waste too much time with this portion. Yeah. Went too far. And I just want to show what happens when I choose an incorrect answer. And just show you the different elements. Here is my hook. And then, all right, so I'm just going to choose a random answer because I want you to see what an incorrect answer looks like. And so I'm like, uh-oh, I see that I got that wrong. Even if I try to rewatch it and do the answer again, I'm still going to have this incorrect answer already done. So there's nothing I can do to change that outside of asking my teacher to reset to give me an opportunity to complete this again. All right. So that is what it looks like from the student perspective with EdPuzzle. I am now going to go back to the actual EdPuzzle application, and I'm going to be signed in using my teacher account. So we will walk you through the steps on how to access EdPuzzle as a teacher at the end of our training. But for the sake of this particular session, I want you to see I'm already logged into EdPuzzle. I can search for videos, or I can look at the content that is available on the home screen. So the home screen provides videos that are trending, whether it's trending in a particular content within our state or within the United States. If I click on the curriculum link, I can access EdPuzzle videos that have been created by teachers based on the level that I work in, elementary, middle school, or high. I'm a middle school teacher, so I'm going to click on view content for middle school teachers. Maybe I'm a math teacher. So when I click on the math content button, it gives me videos for a wide variety of math topics. I can even just click on fractions, algebra, and so forth. So maybe I want to add, before I go there, Georges County, these are videos that have been curated or created by our own Prince George's County teachers, and their videos are public. The good thing about these videos are I can see that this video at the time is 42 minutes. I don't want to sign it to my kids, that's a bit much, but this video has 9 questions or notes. I'm going to come back and show you how to add your video in a moment to your classes. The next thing is my content. My content is any videos that you have uploaded to EdPuzzle or any videos that you have shared to your classes. They're going to show up under the My Content. If we come down to the popular channels, we have an EdPuzzle channel. And again, these are just videos that have been curated by EdPuzzle, which already have the questions or notes added. Additionally, there's a YouTube channel, so we don't necessarily have to go out to search YouTube, but we can. You have options, but there's a YouTube channel where you can go in and you can add the videos and then add your own questions to these videos. You see on the YouTube channel, none of these videos have the teardrop. That means we need to add our own questions and notes. And then we can also add videos from Khan Academy, National Geographic, and so forth. Okay? So now I want to add a video to my classes. Let's talk about that. I'm going to come over here to the My Classes button. Right now, I have 3 classes added to my EdPuzzle account. Maybe I want to add more of my Google Classroom classes to my EdPuzzle account or link them. So in order to do that, there is a plus sign across from my classes. I can manually enter my class information, or I can click on the link that says Connect LMS Classes. That's the option that I want, and I want to add my classes from Google Classroom. So I'm going to click on the Google Classroom button. And it's going to give me a list of my Google Classrooms that I can add. If you see it already has a check, that means that class has already been added to my EdPuzzle application. So I'm going to come down and choose a class that I haven't added just yet. And all I need to do, I can add one class if I just want to add one, or I can add multiple classes. When you're done checking the classes you want to import to EdPuzzle, click the Import Classes button. And you're going to see it's a pretty quick process. I can look over here now on the sidebar and I can see all of my classes. If I add a class that I don't want to use after all, if I hover or go across that class, there are 3 dots that show up. I can archive this class or I can delete this class. I don't want this class, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. It's going to prompt me to delete again, letting me know it's going to be permanently deleted. I'm going to get rid of that class. I want to go to my EdPuzzle PD class. And I have some assignments already added, so I feel good about that. I want to add more. Oh, before I do that, when I click on class members, any students who are a part of my Google Classroom, when I click on class members, they are going to show up as my students. If I had a student recently join this particular Google Classroom, I can click the Import Students button, and any additional students who have been added to the class recently will be pulled over into EdPuzzle. Okay? Now I'm ready to assign some content to this class. So I'm going to go back and click the Content button. I have the option of searching for content. I can bring in a link from outside, or I can search directly within EdPuzzle. Maybe I want to add content from my own Screencastify account. I can do that as well, and I can search. So I'm just going to, for the sake of this example, I want to add some content from my curriculum, and I want to add it from my world languages class since I am a Spanish teacher today. And I'm just going to choose some vocabulary. We're going to use some Mexican words. And I'm going to, before I add this class, I just want to choose something that's not too long because I don't want my kids to get stressed out. I want them to really pay attention and take advantage of this particular activity. To add it, all I need to do is click on this checkbox, and you'll see I have the option to edit this video, copy the video, or unselect. I want to copy this to my content, and you'll get a little note letting us know that it has been copied to my content. So it's there. I can begin editing, or I can go directly to my content to see the video there. So we have options, more than one way to do something. I just clicked on the video, and now I can just assign it, I can edit, I can duplicate it, or I can share a preview. I want to edit this assignment by adding some questions. Now, if this video was longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds, or if I just wanted to be shorter, I can cut this video. I can edit it right now just to shorten it a little bit. So all you do is just click and drag. And when I'm done, click the Finish button, and it'll automatically save the shortened video. And you see, I just shortened it by 5 seconds. All right, now I'm ready to add my questions. I'm going to click the Edit button. I can put a voiceover over my video, or I can just add my questions. And that's what I want to do. I just want to add some questions that my students can begin answering. Let's talk about the different types of questions we can add. We can add multiple choice questions. So this is great if you want to test your students' understanding. They can be true, false. It can be a single answer. It can be multiple answers. Multiple choice questions can automatically be graded. which is awesome. The next type of question we have are open-ended questions. This is great if you want to provide your students with thought-provoking questions in order for them to put some real thought into their responses. They are not automatically graded. You need to go in and grade these yourself within EdPuzzle. And then lastly, we can add a note. You can give your students specific directions. You can tell them to pay attention to this next section because it may be on a quiz. Anything, special notes that you want to provide for your students, maybe additional guidance. You can record the note or you can write the note. So for this example, I want to add multiple choice question. I'm just going to add one question. I haven't watched this video, so I'm just adding something random. Blah, blah. I can choose what I want my answer choice to be by just clicking on the plus, the check or the X. Maybe I want my answer to be with the second option. Or I can add an additional answer and I want that. So all right, I can preview, make sure everything is the way I want it to be. And maybe I don't want my question to be right there. I can drag it to show somewhere else.
So they're all new for me too. School supplies. What do we? So the theme or the words I'm gonna know the theme or the words I'm gonna teach you. So So they're all.
All right. So the kids will watch the video. It will stop at the 6-second mark and ask the students the question. If I feel good about that, I'm going to click continue. If I need to make a change, I'm going to click the pencil to edit. If I don't like it at all, like, you know what, let me just do something completely different, I can delete the question. So I am satisfied with this question for the sake of our example. I'm going to click finish. And I am now ready to assign this to my students. So I'm going to click the assign button. And I can choose the class or classes I want to share this assignment with. I can choose a due date. Maybe I want it to be due next week. I can choose the time and save. I want to turn on prevent skipping because I don't want my students to fast forward through the video just to get through the questions, just to say, oh, I completed it. You can turn on closed captions so that if you have students who need that accommodation, you can turn that on for them. And then I want to post this to Google Classroom. So I'm going to click the button to turn this on. And now I'm ready to assign. And it has been posted to my Google Classroom. I can double check by going to my classroom. Give it a moment to show up. And here it is now. So that assignment has been uploaded. If I want to, if you are a teacher who uses topics, I can edit this assignment, give my students further instructions, and then I can place it under the topic in which I want it to go and save it, and my students will see it and be able to complete that assignment. I am now going to turn this over to my colleague, Patrick, who is going to talk to you about, let me move this out the way, about YouTube and other applications within EdPuzzle. So let me go on back, and Patrick,
Thank you so very much, Michelle. Thank you. So now that you've seen how to connect your Google Classroom to your EdPuzzle account, Now let's talk about different types of videos that you can import to your EdPuzzle. So one of the places that people go to find videos is YouTube. So you can import your YouTube videos in two ways. You can use the popular channels. So if you go to the left side of your screen, the left column, and click on YouTube, what you would see a sample of different YouTube videos that you can add to your EdPuzzle. If you look at each video, notice that at the bottom right hand corner of each video, you have a little box. If you click in that little box, it will give you links that will allow you to interact with that video. So right now we have the making waves video selected. Notice that at the bottom of the screen, you have the edit button, the copy button, and the unselect button. So these videos are just simple at this point. So by checking that video, now you can copy that video into your My Content area. So if you click copy, it will automatically put that video in your content area. So now if we go to your My Content, that video will be there. So let's go to My Content, Michelle. So now that we are in the My Content area, notice that that video is there. So now if you click on that video, you can go ahead and modify by video by trimming it or by cutting the video in terms, if the video you feel like it is too big in terms of length, you want it to be a 2-minute video, or you want to cut certain sections of that video, you can play the video, and then when your cursor is at the point where you want to cut, and then you can cut the video at that time. So using the add cut button that you see on top of the timeline. You can also add your voice over to that video. When you add your voice to the video, that will remove the audio from the video and input your own voice to the video. And certainly you can also ask questions. By clicking on questions, you will be able to do the same things that Michelle showed you earlier in terms of adding a multiple choice question or an open-ended question or a note to your video. So we do suggest that at the beginning of your video, you add notes so that you can tell your student exactly what you want them to look for while watching the video. So once you do that, then you can go ahead and assign the video the same way you would as Michelle showed you earlier. So now let's go back to our home screen, Michelle. So we're gonna go back. So another way to import a YouTube video is by using the search box at the top left hand corner of the screen. So let's say you go to YouTube and you select a YouTube video from YouTube. So from there, you can copy that YouTube link. Once you copy the link, you can go back to your EdPuzzle screen and paste that link in your EdPuzzle screen and then click search. Once you click search, that video will automatically be imported into your My Content area, and you're automatically into editing mode. So at this point, you can do your cutting if you need to cut parts of the video, or you can do your voiceover if you want to add your own voice to the video, or you can do the questions if you want to add questions to the video the same way you would normally do if it was a video from the My Content area or video from the curriculum area of EdPuzzle. So these are two different ways you can input your YouTube videos. You can use the YouTube channels, or you can go to YouTube, grab a link, and paste that link in the search box in EdPuzzle, and that will automatically bring that video into your content area, and you're automatically into editing mode for that video. You can also add your own videos if you want to. So if you go to your My content and you click on add content. That will allow you to add your own videos to your EdPuzzle. So you will go to your My Content and you will click on the add content, and then you can click on upload a video. That will be any videos that you have on your own computers, or any videos that you made, let's say, with your phone and you download it on your computers, or any videos that you made with Screencastify and you download it on your computer. You can upload those videos as well. So you will have to either choose a file wherever you put that file, whether it's from your own computer or from the Google Drive. It's up to you at this point. So these are all different ways you can import videos. So you are not restricted to only EdPuzzle videos. You can add videos from EdPuzzle, the My Content areas, for the instructional part of it. You can add videos from YouTube, and you can add videos from the different channels that you see on the left column of EdPuzzle, whether it's Khan Academy, TED Talks, and a lot of different sources, National Geographic. So it's up to you at this point. Or you can import your own videos from your own computer. Thank you so very much, Michelle. At this point, we will continue with the rest of the presentation. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Patrick. And now we're going to hear from Ashana, who's going to talk to us about the analytics.
All right, for the upper right from your home screen, in the upper right corner of the screen, you will see My Classes. You can click on that. From this page, you will see that you can click on your classes that you have on the left side of the screen, and we're going to select our EdPuzzle PD class. And I'm going to go, we're going to click on Do Assignments. And now from this page, I can see all of the assignments that I have assigned to this class. And if we click on an assignment, we can see the details on the data we have collected thus far. I can see all of the students' names. Then I can see how much of the video they have watched. I can see the grades that have been received already. I can see the last time they watched the video. I can also see who's turned it in, and what it means by turning it in is they've completed the entire video and answered the questions. That will alert EdPuzzle that they have completed they've turned it in. Okay. It also, just to note, if you assign it in Classroom, you want to remind your students to go to Classroom and identify that they turned it in from the assignment by clicking on the assignment in Classroom. All right, if you click on the three dots all the way to the right of the name, you click on that three dots. Some people asked in the Q&A, well, what if we want to give the student another chance to retake this assignment? If you click on that three dots, it will allow you to reset the progress. So it will start the assignment over for the student, okay? So if this is something, then that's what you can do, okay? Now, if you click on that, you can say, yes, you want to reset the progress, all right? Now, if I want to know a little bit more data about Kimberly's assignment, I can click on Kimberly. And starting in the top of the screen, I see grade 33 out of 100. I can see that Kimberly watched 100% of the video. She received 1 question out of 3 correct. And I can see the time spent and when it was turned in, with a date and a time. I can also see how many times Kimberly rewatched a specific section of the video. If you scroll back up a little bit, Michelle, you can see how many times Kimberly rewatched a specific segment of the video. So maybe that could alert you that may be a segment that she was confused at. But either way, you can see where they replayed a segment, all right? As we move down, someone asked in the questions earlier, how can you provide commentary to a specific question? Well, this is where you would do that. Next to the question, all the way to the right, you click on comment, and then you can you can provide a comment to specific questions. So that gives you a little synopsis of the questions that one student received correct and incorrect. If you go to the upper right side of the screen, you will see the previous student. I can go to the previous student and the next student to review the data for other students. Now I want to go back to the class, and I'm going to go to the left side of the screen under the student's name and see EdPuzzle essay model. Click on that link, and now I'm back to the page with all of the results. I want to know a little bit more about specific questions and how the students did on specific questions. So I'm going to go to questions. Questions is next to the students tab. Now this will let me know how many of the students got this question wrong. In this case, I can see 3 out of 9 of the students got that question wrong. So that may be something that I want to reteach to the class. If I see that many of the students received a question wrong, then that's an alert to me that I need to do some reteaching possibly, okay? So that's a little bit about the data and the questions. Now, what you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you input these grades into Google Classroom. How can you do that? You go to the lower right side of the screen, you will see blue links, and the second one from the bottom says download grades. If you click on that, it will allow you to download a spreadsheet that will include the questions and responses. And you can download that, open it up, and it will show all the students' names and their grades along with the exact questions they got correct and wrong. But you can use the grades from that to put it into Google Classroom or into Schoolmax. If you're not using Google Classroom to collect grades for this, but you need it for Schoolmax. Either way, if you're putting it in Schoolmax or Google Classroom, you can get it from that spreadsheet. And that is the end of the data.
All right, thank you, Ashana. I'm going to ask, are we going to do polling questions or should I just go to the wrap up because we only have a few minutes left?
We're going to wrap up, Renee.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just getting you where you need.
So there were several questions. Thank you, Michelle. There were several questions in the Q&A around how to set up your account. And we're going to go over that in just a couple of minutes. One other question that came up is the addition of a co-teacher in EdPuzzle. At this time, there is no place for a co-teacher actually within EdPuzzle, right? But I believe if your co-teacher is assigned to your class in Google Classroom, they should be able to see what your students do, but you won't see the co-teacher listed in EdPuzzle. I will check on that for you, okay? All right, so if you have any other questions, we have a couple of people manning the Q&A section. So we'll give you a couple of seconds to add those questions. We tried to keep up with them. You guys asked some really good questions, so thank you very much for that. All right. So let's scroll down, Michelle. And in order to get your account set up, if you haven't already done so, you're going to go to edpuzzle.com. And when you click on sign up, next slide, you're going to select sign up as a teacher. And it's going to ask you to go to your Google login. Please log in with your PGCPS Google email credentials. And if you've never logged into EdPuzzle before, you will select our district from a drop-down, Prince George's County Public Schools, your grade level, and your content area. It will assist them in recommending videos specifically for you, right? You will receive an email asking you to verify your email account. Once you verify that email account, you should be immediately upgraded to Pro, and you will see EdPuzzle Pro listed under your name on your account. Right, so I think the next couple of slides just demonstrate that. I had one person say that they had verified it and still had not been upgraded. And I'm just going to ask if she would give me her username and I will check on it for her. Okay. Once again, these pages are in the presentation that we're going to share with you. So you can see step by step all of the things that our presenters shared with you today. In addition to that, presently on our T3 website, we have an extensive video playlist with at least 10 videos, and they're very short videos that break down all of the areas that we covered, and they're very short videos. So there's a short video on adding questions, a short video on editing, a short video on creating your classes. So if you want to get a little bit more help in getting these things started, please go to our website and look under EdPuzzle, under Teaching Resources. In addition to that, we're sharing with you webinars that EdPuzzle has presented. One is on integrating with Google Classroom, and the second one is on using Screencastify with EdPuzzle. Many of you are using Screencastify as we're doing our remote teaching. All right, so in the moments that we have left, I'm going to share with you our emails so you can be in contact with all of us who are pretty much on the EdPuzzle team. And that's myself, Michelle, Conti, Shauna Wingwang, and Patrick Pierre-Louis. And Tamara Stuckey is helping us out today in Title I with the Title I school. So if you need any additional support, the video for this will be available in about a week. It's being recorded now, and in addition to that, this presentation. So if we don't have any more questions, I want to thank you for joining us today on this PD. Hope everyone has an awesome weekend.